This is why you should never marry your coins. Solana Bonk update and why I started dabbling into the SUI token. My name is mikemadz. Let's start this video. Before we start the video, please do me a huge favor. Please like, comment below, check out my links in the description, and of course, subscribe. Alright, before we get to SUI, of course, I want to cover Solana and Bonk here. First things first, guys. For Solana here, of course, the Jupiter airdrop is out of the way. It was a complete success here. Some people got like $40,000, $50,000, up to $100,000 in an airdrop for free for doing basically nothing here. I was late to the party. I got like $150, which I moved into Star Atlas. But either way, guys, it was a huge success. And with that, of course, the daily active addresses reached the 1-year high on Solana here. Super impressive. At this stage, all I can say is, if you're still bearish on Solana, I don't know what you're doing in crypto. The data speaks for itself. If you cannot put your emotions by side and just look at the data and look at the numbers, then you are at the wrong place. I'm sorry to say that. Solana here held up, no outages, no whatsoever. So the outages here most probably should be think by the past here. So hopefully I'm not going to jinx it here, but with this kind of volume, no outages, it's kind of looking good here for Solana. Next thing up here, Solana here, the Phantom wallet, Solana's main wallet, had more downloads, guys, than Coinbase, guys. Coinbase, of course, a huge centralized exchange handling multiple types of assets here. And Phantom here, mostly with Solana, had more downloads than Coinbase. Again, super bullish. And it shows you the adoption Solana is bringing to the cryptoverse here. Okay, show me another layer one that does that. Show me anything close in crypto that handles these kinds of numbers here. Of course, guys, those are also airdrop farmers. Airdrop season on Solana is huge. But keep in mind, guys, if it's their first time using Phantom, they will simply see how easy it is to use and how fast Solana is. So part of those people will stick around and just join the Solana ecosystem. So overall, big plus here for Solana, of course. Next thing up. As I said here, no outages whatsoever. We had no hiccups. Everything was handled smoothly. And keep in mind, guys, Fire Dancer is not even here yet. So with Fire Dancer, a second client on Solana, things will be even double proof. So the security part on Solana and the memes about outages here should be a thing of the past, hopefully. And of course, it adds to the value here on the future of Solana. Next thing up is something super important for my thesis that Solana might reach $500,000, $600,000 here in this market cycle. And that is that simply we need to chip away ETH's market cap. Simply how it is. One thing that confirms that it's slowly happening here in the background is the following here. $5.7 million here bridge from Ethereum over to Solana here. So volume from Ethereum is slowly moving over to Solana here. Transaction fees matter, guys. I don't care how rich you are, okay? Even if you are a multi-billionaire, it just simply doesn't make sense to pay $50 for a transaction, okay? The rich stay rich because they know how to handle money, and nobody wants to spend $50 for a simple transactions. If we want to do that, just simply use a bank transfer and just deal with the latency, okay? So ETH has a problem. I'm not saying ETH is not going to perform well. There's still massive amount of money in ETH, and the institutional interest in ETH is still super huge. And in crypto, technicals is not everything that matters, unfortunately. So don't get it twisted. I still think ETH will do absolutely well, but in the background here, guys, Solana is catching up. All right, next thing up, I want to talk about Bonk, guys. What is happening with Bonk? Some people are starting to doubt it, especially the new people here that joined new to crypto. Guys, this is just completely normal. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Bonk, nothing changed. I think Bonk will do absolutely great in this market cycle. And I think Bonk will do better than most people actually think it will. One thing that happened here with Bonk is their own DAO here, decentralized autonomous organization. If you hold some Bonk, I think it's important to join them over on Twitter. I think it's going to play a role here in future airdrops. And of course, it is good to stay connected with the ecosystem that you are invested in, guys. Super simple. It is important to have the right kind of information and the right kind of alpha here at the right time. So go over and join them. Again, here with Bonk, I'm not expecting anything crazy here in the next couple months. I actually expect the next couple months here to be sideways for crypto, most probably. Maybe even some chop to the downside. I expect Bonk to do well later this year, and especially here at the end of the year. This is just my personal hunch. If you look at cycles and how liquidity flows from major coins to meme coins, comes and goes in seasons, and currently that meme season is slowly drying out, which is completely normal, guys. Okay, if you did a 70, 80x on Bonk, it's not going to go to another 100x from here. Okay, so don't worry in the long term. I think Bonk will do absolutely great. And most importantly, not financial advice, I wouldn't be selling right now. Don't do that mistake. All right, guys, it is time to talk about SUI here. Now, why did I start dabbling into SUI? Pretty simple, guys. I like to keep emotions out of it. I look at the data, I look at the numbers, and more importantly, I like to look at current narratives. Very simple. Big disclaimer, guys. Of course, I didn't sell in Solana or any Bonk here to move it into SUI. Absolutely not. I still think Solana is way superior here, but I added liquidity here to SUI because I simply see huge upside potential for SUI itself. So I will present you some things and you decide on your own what you're going to do with this information. Okay, first thing up is this right here. SUI ranks place number 5 across all DeFi volume, across all chains. So for SUI here, for its market cap, this is actually impressive here. Place number 5, not too far off Polygon. This is actually super impressive for its size and something you should keep an eye on. And as you can see here, the 7-day change here shows you there is inflows here into the SUI ecosystem. Next thing up is the TVL, something I like to look at here because it simply shows you there is use case, okay? And second of all, it shows you there is trust in the ecosystem. And here SUI ranking in the top 10 here at place number 9 with $466 million. Again, for its market cap, actually super impressive. And keep in mind, guys, SUI has a higher TVL than Aptos here. Very similar projects. And the founders actually from SUI and Aptos both came from the Facebook project. So it's just an interesting side note. Before I continue here with the data, I'd just like to add here, SUI is super fast. SUI is super cheap. And technically here, of course, while there are major differences in certain points here, SUI and Solana are actually very similar. So narrative-wise, it reminds me on Solana, guys. One point you should not ignore. Okay, next thing up here. Just simply shows you SUI is being used here and shows you the throughput of SUI is actually super impressive here. Again, SUI is pretty fast. SUI claims to have unlimited amount of TPS. Again, guys, I don't think that's true. Once you have this kind of claim, you lack in certain other areas, let it be latency or decentralization, etc. No chain is perfect here. But again, one thing is for sure, SUI is super fast and it is super cheap to use. One thing that actually made me pull the trigger here on SUI is seeing Solland, a DeFi protocol on Solana, creating SUI land, okay? This is not very typical to see Solana people here moving over to other chains here, and this is SUI land here, hopefully launching pretty soon. This was actually the key indicator for me to move over to SUI because it's something you don't see too often. And I also noticed that some people on Solana here are actually enjoying the experience over on SUI, whether it be on the dev side or the user side. For me personally, I use their DeFi space, and I can tell you from my experience, the experience itself is actually super enjoyable. Again, fast, cheap, actually great interface here, super interesting wallets here, and the DeFi space actually feels active and there is things to do. So again, big thumbs up here for SUI. Now talking about the dev side, guys, this is simply a comparison and this is not something to FUD Solana about, okay? First of all, I'm not a developer, okay? I'm looking at this and I have no idea what I'm looking at here. But from a logical perspective, of course, SUI looks here much easier to program on, okay? As you can see here, Solana has much more lines of code here, account checks especially, while SUI achieves the same thing here with much less lines of code. Now again, guys, I'm not a developer here. I cannot confirm if this is right or wrong, which is better here, guys. But either way, I wanted to show you that. Maybe you have some devs here in the community. Maybe you can comment on that, okay? SUI versus Solana here on the dev side. Next thing up that actually is major is the outflows here from Ethereum here, first of all, of course, into Solana, as I said, but also into SUI. There is definitely here outflows here from the Ethereum ecosystem into SUI, a substantial amount of that. Most probably people got bored of the ETH price action. Okay, there's not much price action here happening with ETH, and most people missed out on Solana. And this is where the narrative comes in here. What is gonna be the Solana killer? Personally, don't think that there's going to be a Solana killer, but the narrative alone is what matters. And this is where SUI comes in. And of course, with that low market cap, the upside potential with that narrative, with those data points is actually super attractive. And this is why I have a position in SUI. Now again, guys, I'm not selling my Solana. I'm not selling my Bonk. I just simply added SUI to my allocation. Pretty simple. At the end of the day, guys, you have to do your own research. Take the data, decide as you wish. And let me know in the comments below Do you have some SUI? Are you gonna buy into SUI or not? And check out my links down below. Added the link to the Navi protocol down here on SUI. The airdrop season on SUI is just starting here, so you should make use of it, okay? At the end of the day, guys, do your own research. Super important. Be bullish on yourself. That yields the most returns. And as always, guys, the most important thing is don't get wrecked. Tops like Mars Simpson, just hard discipline, pot simmering, cooking up, no rocks in the pan, watching the plan form in the sand, bidding castles out of thoughts in our head, late nights, no sleep in my bed, trying to see my dreams manifest. Look at that, now look at that, we nice. Put the past on ice, I was bad.